one of our own. He's one of our own. He's one of our own. Reece James, he's one of our own. Oh my word.
And obviously Reece James right back and then Caicedo in the midfield.
Yeah, it ain't about that. Like, and when these players are bonded, the thing I learned today, we could have won 4 or 5-0. Colwell was absolutely disgraceful today.
Sorry, I've had to get involved here. What are you saying?
You know what I want to ask you? Where's he going to get changed at the training ground? I'm deadly serious. Where are these people? If you've got 40 players, how are they all in one dressing room? How are you putting a training session on?
Let's be honest here. Hello there guys, welcome back to Yosef's Chelsea Blues. Hope you guys are all doing well. Here is your transfer news video of today. Today's content was mainly the first Saturday of the Premier League of when it started. But the transfer window is still open. So let's just get into the latest news. Before we do that, make sure you smash that subscribe button if you're new around here. Smash the likes. Turn that bell notification on so you don't miss any great upcoming content. Make sure you follow all the socials on TikTok, Instagram, and X. Yours Chelsea Blues on all. Let's get into it. Starting off with Eberechi Eze. And we'll link Savinhio into this as well. Because it's all involved with the same club. Okay. Are Tottenham about to get their man? We'll see what happens. But Ben Jacobs, take it away. Spurs set to place an opening bid for Eberechi Eze. Tottenham moving fast to avoid Arsenal counter. Optimism. Eze prepared to join with personal terms, not a problem. Now push for Eze after James Maddison's ACL. So we had this earlier on today. We then got this after. Spurs optimistic Eberechi Eze wants to join as talks continue with Crystal Palace. Tottenham prepared to pay a similar fee to Mohamed Kudus. Release clause expiring doesn't change Crystal Palace's position. We then got Sasha Tavalieri saying something. Exclusive. Eberechi Eze pushing to join Tottenham. He agreed on personal terms with Spurs and wants to leave Crystal Palace. Eze expected to be left out of the squad against Chelsea this Sunday. Eze wants to leave Crystal Palace. Conflict looming. Palace already in talks with his replacement. Wait and see. We then got the big dog Fabrizio. Eberechi Eze has informed Crystal Palace earlier this week about his desire to join Tottenham. Talks progressing as Eze already said yes to Spurs project, ready to make his move this month. Nothing done yet, but Eze hopes for Tottenham move ASAP. We then got this as the final bit of... Oh, no, that's not the final bit of news. We then got something from Ben Jacobs after, but Fabrizio Romano says this. The agreement between Eberechi Eze and Spurs on personal terms is done since the beginning of the week. He wants to move as Tottenham and Crystal Palace are in direct talks over fee. Tottenham confident to make it happen, but work still needed. But then Ben Jacobs gives this. Spurs pushing to sign Eberechi Eze with confidence the deal is getting close. Eze wants to join and club-to-club talks are now advanced. Spurs never planned on triggering the 60 million plus £8 million clause, preferring to negotiate below it. Eze could miss Palace's Premier League opener against Chelsea, with a Palace exit looking increasingly likely sometime next week. And he also adds on here, as exclusively revealed on TalkSport, Spurs willing to pay a similar fee to the Mohamed Kudus one. Structure still under discussion, but £55 million to £60 million offered, with add-ons key to reaching a full agreement. Eze could be a Spurs player by next week. Now, that is all the Eberechi Eze news. Let me know what you think on that. But, as I said, Savinhio is linked to this. Here is what Ben Jacobs said about Savinhio. Spurs still trying for Savinhio along with Eberechi as a Palace attacker viewed as number 10. Savinhio won't feature against Wolves. He didn't feature. As you know, I've done the watch along for that, with Pep Guardiola insisting he is injured and will miss 2 weeks. Come on. The remaining time left in the window. There we go. Ben Jacobs has literally put an ellipsis there and put the why he missed the 2 weeks. Savinhio has been posting pictures doing some individual gym work. There we are. So he's not really injured, is he? He's open to Spurs if Manchester City soften their not for sale position. Club sources on both sides deny Spurs' latest offer was as high as 70 million euros. Talks ongoing. One formal bid of close to 50 million euros already rejected. So that is all the news on Eze and Savinhio possibly going to Spurs. Let me know of what you think on that, because Spurs getting both of these players could be very big for them. I think Kudus is already big for them. If they get Eze and Savinhio as well, that front line is going to look outrageous. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Let me know what you think of that. Then, for the final bit of this video, we're going to end on Manchester City. We've got these two goalkeepers right here. Ederson and Donnarumma. There's a bit of news. Fabrizio gave an update earlier today, like around the morning time. Here it is. Exclusive. Galatasaray send first official bid to Manchester City for Ederson. Proposal in the region of 10 million euros while City asks for higher fee. Generally, Donnarumma has already opened doors to City move. No issues on personal terms. If Ederson leaves, Donnarumma can join Manchester City. Fabrizio then also says this. Ederson doesn't play today. He didn't play against Wolves as Manchester City are in advanced talks with Galatasaray. Ederson wants to move and Galatasaray sent 10 million euro official bid to Manchester City asking for higher fee. Negotiations are progressing. We then got Florian Plettenberg here. Manchester City are working behind the scenes on the deal for Gianluigi Donnarumma. An agreement on the player side is almost done. Pep Guardiola wants to sign him and Manchester City are optimistic about completing the deal once Ederson joins Galatasaray. And then we got one final bit from Ben Jacobs. Galatasaray in formal talks to Manchester City over Ederson. Player would have to tell Manchester City he wants to leave. City are reluctant sellers, but an exit is possible. Gianluigi Donnarumma a likely Manchester City target if Ederson departs. PSG's £40 million plus asking price expected to drop in the final days of the window. So we've got an interesting final few weeks here in the transfer window, man. It's like we've got Xavi Simons situation probably going to go down to the wire. We've got the Garnacho situation probably going to go down to the wire. And now we've got the Donnarumma situation possibly go down to the wire. So this is going to be very interesting to see how these last few weeks of the transfer window play out, especially because the Premier League has started as well. So we'll see what happens there. But let me know what you think of the Ederson and Donnarumma situation. If you think Ederson should have stayed, or do you think Donnarumma should have stayed at PSG, or do you think what's happening now will actually happen if Ederson will go to Galatasaray and if Donnarumma will go to Manchester City? Let me know what you think. And the final bit of news that I saw, and I was like, why not mention it? It's on Douglas Luiz. Nottingham Forest are about to sign him. Nottingham Forest are close to getting Douglas Luiz deal done after personal terms agreed. As said yesterday, deal is imminent. Also with Juve, as Nottingham Forest are confident. He's the next one after Callum Morendo and Hutchinson, as negotiations are at final stages with Juventus. So Douglas Luiz is close to coming back to the Premier League. I wonder how he'll do. I think he'll do very well, but we'll see what happens there. And that's going to be it. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you're new around here. Smash the likes. Turn that bell notification on so you don't miss any great upcoming content. Make sure you follow the socials on TikTok, Instagram, and X. Yours Chelsea Blues and all. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Chelsea Crystal Palace live stream on here at about 1:45, 1:50 p.m. In a bit, up Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.